What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. This is going to be a little bit of a different style of video. In this video, we're going to take a look at a lot of little gadgets that I want to call like interesting Amazon finds. Okay, and this, I was putting this video off because I thought, man, this would be a great video for like the holidays, because this is like little stocking stuffers. Now, some of them are a little expensiver than, expensiver? I guess that's a word. I don't know. I just made that up. A little more expensive that you'd probably want for a stocking. Maybe, maybe not. But there's just some really cool gadgets in here. Now, some of this stuff is like stuff that I just like has added to my EDC, and it's like a daily driver. And I wanted to bring it to you guys because I find this stuff very functional. Some of it's just cool. I mean, I'm not going to I'm just going to say, hey, it's cool. I mean, do you really need it? Probably not, but hey, it's cool. So let's just dive in. All of this stuff you should be able to get on the links in the show notes. Most of this is purchased on Amazon. So let's dive in. Should we be the typical kid and go for the big present first, or should we work our way up? No, let's just go all in for the big item right here. So this here, I'll have a link in the show notes. So I don't remember the company, but this is an actual like it's a gear. It's got like screwdrivers and stuff in it. If I can get the tray to come out, there we go. And what's really neat about this is, so this is a great if you're like have electronics, right? Because it's got those weird tips that you only find in electronics here. Now, it's got your standard like Phillips and stuff like that right here. So it's got a lot of these bits. Very well organized in here, as you can see. But what's really cool about this is, so this is actually battery operated, so it's USB-C. And then you basically would put a bit in. So let's just do a Phillips, lock it in, and then you can do left or right. Nope, gotta turn it on first. You see it? It's got pretty good torque. So, no more fiddling and faddling around. You got two different speeds. That one's a little slower. Not as much torque. Doesn't use as much battery. And then you flip it over here, and so you can do left or right. Screw or unscrew, right? Lefty. How's that go? Tighty righty, lefty loosey. Right? Remember that. So this is just a really cool little kit that you can pick up for that gadget head that needs nothing but always something, right? If I can get this back in here. There we go. So that is the first item. And again, check the show notes. I don't remember the brand. It's all in Chinese, of course. So, I don't read Chinese, so I cannot translate this for you. But a very, very cool little kit. Now, while we're moving on to kits, this here, I think it's Buddy. Could be Booty, but, Booty? I wouldn't do Booty. Maybe I would do Booty. So, this here is for the mobile device heads out there. And this is like a 9-in-1 kit. And where this gadget is going to like support like, different things that you have to require, like screwdrivers and stuff like that. This is like those essentials that you don't have when you're out and you're like, dang, I wish I would have had that. Dang, I wish I would have brought that. This gets all that stuff covered in the mobile world. When it comes to adapters, you've got a Lightning, you've got a C, and you've got a Type A. And I don't know how many times I've been in and I've got a wall wart that's a Type C, and all I have is a Type A to C plug. I'm screwed, right? So I can't use it. So that's where these adapters come in really, really handy, is on the road and traveling and stuff. So you don't have the right charge cable or whatever, boom. Then also, you get two built-in C to C, so you can actually plug this in, and now you can utilize this in several different ways, okay? You could actually, with this Type C plug, charge through it, so you can do a C to C charge, but also on this side, there's a little micro SD card reader, so you could actually use this as a data piece and read cards on it. So that's pretty neat. And then if I pull up one of these, there's a SIM tool, which of course now on the new iPhones you really don't need because they're virtual SIMs, right? So, but still you get a SIM tool, and then we flip it over and you have a bunch of storage slots. So not only for SD cards, but SIM cards. If you want to put in here, you can store SIM cards. So if you've got multiple devices or what have you, you got storage for multiple SIM cards on the go, and maybe take one out, put one in different carriers, whatever, on an unlocked phone, and boom, all of this, all in this one little travel companion, I'm going to say, buddy. Alright, moving on. Those haven't wowed you yet. They're pretty standard, right? You may have already seen these, but let's get into some of this more unique gear. So, Robivon sent to show this. This is an E8. And it says Angel Eyes on it, but this happens to be the E8 UV Cool White. So it's got ultraviolet built in. So ultraviolet's used for numerous things when it comes to sanitizing. So you could kind of have a built-in hand sanitizer that isn't like liquid. I mean, if you're out and it's cold, what's the last thing you want to do? Slap on some cold sanitizer and rub it on your hands and get them even colder. Now, depends on how much you believe in the ultraviolet, approach, but you can turn on ultraviolet and you can sensibly maybe sterilizing bacteria with my ultraviolet light. See? Okay, so that's one possibility. The other possibility is this thing is just darn bright. Yeah, it will light up quite the area. And I'm going way high here. Just kind of disperse the lighting. But as you can see, this is a pretty cool little light. And what's really neat about it is you got strobes. Very, very bright. And if we can get it shut off. There, got it shut off. So it's see-through, transparent tech. Look at that. That's kind of neat, right? A little transparent flashlight. You can see the circuitry, all that good stuff in there. That's pretty cool. So this Robivon light acts multifunctional. Okay, next up. Is it tech? Maybe not, but this is kind of a cool little, I would say more if you wanted to take some meds or something in this. Now, a lot of techs will be out in the field. You get a migraine coming on, you've been looking at data all day or whatever, you're a developer, you've been coding all day, boom, you can have this bad boy. It's actually pretty good sized. You could stuff more in there than just pills. Maybe even an SD card, micro SD card or something, whatever you'd want to stick in here. You can, and keep it safe and secure. You can even put it around a chain, wear it around your neck, whatever you want to do. It's a nice little stainless steel storage for those small things that you don't want to lose. You don't want to just throw stuff in your pocket loose, it's small. Maybe you've got some little washers, you've used your toolkit and you've got a bunch of little screws and maybe even some washers and bolts and nuts and stuff like that. Throw it in here. Keep it all in one spot. Keep it secure as you work. And then you can come back and just empty it out. That way you're guaranteed you're not going to lose those little things. God, it's so frustrating. Now, when we're talking about tool sets, this little Swiss Army knife, literally, has the most tools that I have seen in a little form factor like this. Okay? Now, you'll have to go check it out. I'm not going to go through every little thing on here, but, I mean, you get it, right? You got little blades, you got little odds and ends for, fingernails, a file. I mean, it just goes on and on and on and on and on. You get a little bottle opener, can opener, all this stuff. You're just going to have to check it out because it just goes on and on and on and on and on. And I'm serious. Even a toothpick right here, right? Supposedly. Oh, these are tweezers. Sorry. I think there's a toothpick on the other side. I mean, it's got it all. You're not going to go wrong with this tool, except putting it in backwards. So anyway, check that out. This little guy, keep it in your pocket. Add to your multi-tool sets. That's got a lot of stuff. You're going to like it. Now, let's move on to this. It's a bracelet. It is. It's actually a pretty fashionable bracelet, which I really, really like. Is it paracord? No. But what's cool about this little bracelet is, you're kind of becoming like a 007 here with all these little gadgets and stuff, right? Well, hey, how about a lightning cable on your wrist? Lightning to type A. So you can charge. Maybe you forgot your cables. Maybe you forgot everything. Now you just find some power, type A to lightning, and all of a sudden your bracelet becomes your charge cable for your Apple device. They also have these in type C. This is just happened to be a lightning because I carry an iPhone. So that's a pretty cool little design. I thought that looked very fashionable. It's one of the best done when it comes to the bracelet pieces like that. So I think that's a win. I wear it. I've used it in pinches. Actually had a friend that didn't bring a cable. Boom. Take off my bracelet. There you go. Moving on. Thin optics. I throw these in my pocket. I'm at that age. I have to have readers. Okay? I forget my readers. I lose my readers. I don't like carrying my readers. I break my readers. Thin optics. These are awesome. Thin little case. They fold up. They're blue light blocking. And they're readers. They're phenomenal. I can go on and on and on about thin optics. If you're not that age and you don't care, alright, fine. Then ignore this gift. But if you're there and you get me, get this. Because it's amazing. Okay. Next up. This is like, what is this? This is like a USB-C adapter or hub. No. This is a laser light display. You can put this in your car. Okay? You can put it in your RGB setup and have like an amazingly cool RGB light show. Because here's what we're going to do. It's basically going to take these laser lights. So I've plugged it in. I don't know if you can see them, but look at that. It disperses it, and it goes a long ways. I can put it on the wall. I mean, this is cool. Imagine this on the top of your car. Okay, don't shine it in your eyes. Don't shine it in other people's eyes, because it is a very, very bright laser. That, look at that. Put it on your ceiling. Tell you what. This is just the blue. Got them in different colors. I wanted this to go on the ceiling or, roof of my car or whatever, because, one, I can use this as a Christmassy ornament, right? So now I have a laser show at my cube, on my ceiling, my cube wall, or in my office, or in my car. That's like perfect for the holidays, right? Your own little laser light show. People buy these things and they project them on their homes for Christmas in lieu of putting up Christmas lights and decor. Well, here you go. Doesn't get any smaller, doesn't get any easier. Plug it in, you're good to go. That's a win and very, very cool. Next up, how about a USB plug or USB drive that's an old tube, an old vacuum tube. Okay, not only does this look very, very steampunkish, it's just really cool. So you'll take off this little back lid, and you have a USB Type A, not Type C. This is a Type A drive. And what's even better, it has this nice little wood rack when you're not using it. You can just shove it like this, and it looks really cool. This actually lights up. So let's just plug it in real quick. We'll plug it into this. We'll turn it on, and boom! We have a USB drive that lights up like an old tube. Steampunk, if you got a retro kind of setup, whatever, you're going to want this. You're going to love it. I don't even know the size of it. It might be 64 gig. It might be 32 gig. I don't have that in here. But, oh, does it say here? No, it doesn't say there. It just looks like an old vacuum tube. So cool. I like it. I kind of have a retro setup, so I have no issues whatsoever with that bad boy. Now, let's go to another piece of the puzzle that I carry quite often, okay? I like cool environments. I don't like to be hot, so a lot of the things that I do, if I get into like an uncomfortable environment, what I want to have is an option for some moving air. I don't like stale air, okay? If you're claustrophobic, you get me, okay? So this here is a very, very cool little two-piece fan system. Now you can get this in Type C, which I have. This is a Lightning because I have an iPhone. But you're sitting someplace, you know, you're in a meeting, you're out for dinner or whatever. You get a little warm. Maybe you're eating something, drinking some red wine, and it's getting you a little hot or flustered. Ladies, maybe you're on the menopausal cycle or something. You got a little hot flash coming on. You simply just assemble the blade into there, and then you just simply plug it in. Let's just plug it into my iPhone, and boom, we have instant fan from an iPhone, and it feels great. The lower you put this, the cooler air is going to blow up. Heat rises, cool air is at the ground. Put it lower, get that air to blow up on you. Very, very cool. Again, you can get this in Type C or this Lightning here. Because I've got an iPhone with me all the time, I have a source of air all the time to cool me off. And I have used it for my wife and other people when we're in a stuffy, warm environment. You are the man to come to the rescue. Okay. Next up, let's kind of go more useful, and then we'll go on these last two things, which are just kind of like unique. A lighter. You're like, that's a lighter? Yes. This isn't your normal like Bic or anything like that. Whoops. Or Zippos. Not a Bic. A Zippo. Almost dropped it. But this lighter here is actually a plasma lighter. If I can get it to lift. You can see it's also transparent. How cool is that? Transparent lighter. And then what we do is we just click it. Make sure we got our lid down. Make sure everything's good here. And then boom. Oh, my lighter went out of power. So it's a USB charged lighter. Right here. And it's a plasma lighter. I thought I saw power for a second when I opened it. Let me see. So, there we go. Maybe the pop. It's got juice. There we go. That's why I was screwing with this lid. If it thinks it's closed, it's a little safety mechanism, it won't engage the plasma lighter. So sometimes you gotta have like this, and then you can see that plasma. Ooh! There you go. So it's a plasma lighter. It's also a transparent tech, which you've seen here on the show a lot lately. So that's cool, right? It's a USB charged lighter. There's no butane, there's no fuel. It is strictly plug it in, juice it up, and you get a plasma lighter. And yes, it does work. It will light stuff on fire. You get it in that little plasma stream, and within a second or two, you get fire. So that's pretty neat. Okay. We'll go on to a cool thing now. Do you need this? No. Do you think it's something that you might want? Give as a novelty gift? Absolutely. I'm sure a tech head, even a developer, a coder, anyone is going to find this particular tool utterly kick butt. Okay? This is a Cryptix, but it's also a USB drive. So what that means is you have to enter this code. This is like back in like the Leonardo da Vinci days and stuff, right? This is the kind of the early forms of crypto security and stuff like that, right? And some of those in the old days are in these kind of Cryptix things, and if you screw it up, most of the data was written on like a paper scroll, papyrus scroll, something like that. And then there was a little failsafe in there. If you forced it, you'd break this little vial of like acidy liquid or whatever, and it would eat the scroll, destroying the data. So this here is in that same format that you're not going to destroy your USB drive, right? There's no like acidic acid or anything in this, but you got to know the code to get to your data. And it's not like some 2-3 digit code. Obviously it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 digit code, which takes a little longer to penetrate. Now, I'm going to get the code, and I'm going to unlock this for you real quick. I don't want you to see my code, so just a sec. Okay, this is what it's going to look like when you get it. Cryptics USB flash drive, 64 gig. You actually get a nice little carry case too, if you want. Now, I've entered my code. I am not showing you my code, but once you enter your code, it allows this Cryptics to come out, and there's your data. How freaking cool is that? Let's put it back in. Move the code around, lock it back up. And now I can't get my data out. So this is very, very cool. Again, 64 gigs, secure technology, right? Bam. And again, comes in this nice little packaging as well. Check the show notes for a link for that. And finally, when I go to a coffee shop or something, sometimes the only place I can sit is like a dark corner, and I need to do work, okay? And yeah, sure, I may have a backlit keyboard and a screen, you know, that projects a little bit of light, but I need to see. And one of my big peeves is not enough light, okay? If I forget my readers and I don't have enough light, damn, it's going to take a lot of coffee to get me in a good mood, because that's just like the perfect storm to piss me off, to not be productivity, right? I can't be productive when I can't see, one, vision-wise, two, lighting-wise. So I try to have not only my readers and a backup plan, but light. So I thought this little guy was kind of cool. You mesh this with a cool little like space screensaver or wallpaper or something, and you really get a cool little effect of a little astronaut hanging out there. But what's really, really neat is this is a great little light. And basically what we do is we lift his little helmet up, and he projects a nice warm glow all over my working area. And he's flexible, so I can bend him and contort him any way I want. And now I can see if I need to write stuff down. I mean, that's not a hugely bright light, right? But you don't want that when you're out and about. And he just kind of floats around and floats around. And you can do little fun stuff like that, right? Or you can do little fun stuff like this. He's just kind of a little astronaut out there floating around. So I think he's really cool. With the space background, wallpaper, whatever, I think he looks even better. And his little pack in the back that's like his oxygen and stuff like that acts as his actually a little power area. So I think he's really cool. He really lights up my area, and he's my little astronaut, and he lights up my world. So anyway, guys, check the show notes for a link for all of these good, cool little gadgets. Hopefully you found something here that was like really cool. Comment on this video. Tell me like which one you think is the coolest thing, because I tried to find some really unique gear, and I'm curious what you guys think would be like the top one here, right? Maybe we'll do it like a vote. Just put like your number one thing on here that you think is cool. If you have a tie, I'll accept ties. If you think one of them, you know, some of them are kind of the same, like the Cryptics. These are some USB drives, cables, stuff like that. Maybe you got a tie. So anyway, guys, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. I hope you enjoyed this. Hopefully this is giving you some good little unique Christmassy gifts that you can give to that techie person in your life. Or even non-techie. Heck, some of the stuff you don't even have to be techie to appreciate and enjoy, right? Or even use. So again, like, subscribe. And as always, guys, hit that little notification bell too, as you'll be notified when we release new content, and try to come up with some quality videos coming up. And as always, guys, thanks for watching, and have a good one.